Today's vehicle that we're going to be working on is a 2006 Dodge Charger. I'm going to try to show you step by step how to remove the front bumper cover assembly. There's a few items you need to look for as far as some locations and some bolts and some nuts as well. So I'll try to show you those step by step so that it won't be as hard to get off as you might think. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, working from the top area of the upper bumper cover on this Dodge Charger, we're going to go ahead and start getting the plastic push pin type fasteners that hold it along the top edge. There's going to be a total of 8 of those. And once we get those off, we're going to go ahead and work on the 2 closeout panels up top. The fasteners are your typical push pins, almost like a reusable plastic rivet. They're fully seated on the vehicle, so you'll grab a tool, anything you can get up under there, you'll pull the top half up to where it stops, and then you pull the whole assembly out. This particular vehicle, we had problems getting them out. They've been in there for so long. So once the heads broke off the plastic fasteners, we just got a hammer and a punch and just knocked the centerpiece out and pulled it out. Going back, I'll try to find some that I can use. If I can't, then I'll probably just go back with plastic rivets across the top edge. So I've already got the 8 loose. Now we're just going to unsnap the 2 plastic covers. Lay them to the side. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to move on to the side of the vehicle. We're going to get to the fender well area and get those loose, and we're going to work across the bottom edge and the fender well area on the other side as well. And then we're going to work on getting this off. At this point, I've gone ahead and raised the vehicle up so I can show you some things a little bit easier. I've gone ahead and turned the steering wheel all the way to the right, and I'm currently working on the driver's side front. There are 3 plastic rivets that come from the factory. If the bumper's been off before, they may have put something else in its place. But you'll have one here, here, and here. You can try to cut the heads off with some side dikes and get them off that way. You can try to knock the pin through the center with a pick and a hammer. Or you can try drilling out the center with a small drill bit. Either way, you need to get these 3 off both sides. And then along the bottom edge, the lower air dam assembly has 3 push pins. One's here, one's at the front of this tire, and one on the back side. You need to get those 3 push pins off. It's just a matter of pulling the center of the pin out, pull the assembly off. Once you've got that loose, you need to go ahead and gain access to a 10mm bolt that's hidden by the splash shield. Now we've got that loose. We want to repeat the same procedure on the other side. And once we've got that done, we're going to go up under and we're going to go ahead and take a couple more fasteners loose. Right now we've got the vehicle up in the air. What I'm going to do is I'm going to gain access to the 2 10mm bolts that hold the front lower air dam to the bottom belly pan. That's one. You can take all the screws loose in the front here. But you're looking at approximately 8 to 10 screws. I just leave the front lower bumper cover attached to the front bumper. The lower air dam to the front bumper, and take it off in one piece. That way I don't have to worry about fighting with all these screws. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start dropping it back down. We're going to start working that bumper cover off. Alright, in the front cover of the bumper, the front corner of the vehicle, where the bumper meets the fender, there's actually going to be a 10mm bolt up in here on both sides. That's going to attach you to the top edge, so we're going to work on getting these loose on both sides. There you go. I showed you how to get the 10mm bolt that was directly in this area here at the corner edge of the front bumper and the fender. That's where the 10 came out. There's actually a 10mm nut that's down here as well that you need to get loose. It's not very tight. Once you get turned just a little bit, you can take it off by hand, but you will need to get that loose as well. And then that would be the last bolt we need to take off. And then we'll go ahead and start pulling off on the fender. Alright, so at this point we've got the 10mm bolt out from inside the fender well liner. We've got the 10mm nut off the stud in this general location inside. We've got the 10mm bolt from up under here off as well. Now what we're going to do is We'll grab a hold of this corner of the bumper cover, unsnap it from where it's mounted, start working it out. Now that's still a 10mm nut protrudes through here. So we're going to pull this back. And when we pull this back, this side marker is going to pop off. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually mounted to the bumper cover, not the lens. So when it pops off, we're just going to disconnect it and set it to the side. There you go. Set it to the side. Now this one does have fog lights on it, so I'm just going to go ahead and unplug them as I'm doing it. And then we'll go ahead and move on with that. Inside. And the other side. Now we got the bumper cover removed. Now we can get that. If we need to replace the headlamp assembly, or in this case, we're actually going to do that.